All right, thanks for joining me today, Tsahi. Philipp Hancke, also known as Fippo, published a blog post on WebRTC hacks this month called Coding WebRTC. And as he himself joked in the blog post, it's a bit of a clickbaity title, but why don't you tell us about it?
Well, first of all, I had the honor of reading it. I wouldn't say first, but one of the first. I read the drafts. To that thing between the both of us. Yes, I think the concept there is that you can write. You start with, well, if it's WebRTC, why not write WebRTC with AI instead of, or write your application with AI? And I had this conversation with a few companies so far. The most interesting one was someone that told me, well, why not I go and implement libWebRTC on myself on a weekend? Well, not a weekend, 2 weeks, but I can build the whole...
All of libWebRTC in a weekend?
Yep, everything. No, in 2 weeks, that's fine. You need enough tokens for that. And be done with it. Then I don't care about Google. I don't care about being stuck with whatever it is that they do. I just feed my AI the protocol. You go take the IETF standards, give it to him, and magically I'm going to have something that is spec compliant. Okay. So that was one view. Then you had another view that I don't know if you've seen that. There is, if you go check the forum of the Mitaco forum for Janus, there's a message there of someone that says, I built an application, it's a group room, multi-party. When I add people, it starts moving too slow. What's Janus doing wrong? And he somehow writes in there that he's vibe coded it or whatever. And the greatest thing is that the answer he got from Lorenzo is something like, well, he was very polite. But if it were me, I would translate it to, well, you're stupid. You decided you don't know WebRTC, but you'll get the AI to build something with WebRTC for you. Just forgot a few things, and it's likely because the resolutions are not good. You're not, checking the sizes, so there are CPU issues, and on the Janus side, you need to do a lot of other things to get it to this scale of a room. Then you just skip that part, or your AI skipped it because you don't know and understand enough of WebRTC. And I think that also comes off what Fippo wrote, which is you need to understand really, really well what it is that you're doing to direct AI to do it properly. Otherwise, you're going to do things that won't really work, not in real life and not when actual media comes in and actual networking is going to meet the issues that you have. I guess it's not a secret that all of us are now using Claude to some degree.
Sure.
And probably, are you paying for Max, by the way, or is it only me?
Yeah, no, I'm not, but I do use Claude all the time for sure.
Yep. So I started with a $20. It lasted for 3 days until I had to move to the $100 after being put, in the corner by Claude multiple times a day. It got to the $200 after 2 additional days. It was that simple. So when I did the redesign for my blog. I thought it was simple. Okay, not related to WebRTC, but is related. We'll get there. So I got a suggestion to make a change in the homepage, in the CTA, in the hero, where things, marketing words. I said, fine. I gave it to the designer that I had at the time. She did something. I didn't like it. I told her. She did something else. I still didn't like it. I got frustrated. I knew that this is not going to work. So I did what every sane person would do. Today I went to Claude Design and told him, I went to Claude Code, told him that give me a prompt for Claude Design that changes that part of the CTA the way I want it. I gave that prompt to Claude Design, didn't even read it, it's too long. And it gave me a new homepage, not a new CTA area. The problem was that the homepage looked nice. And that meant that I can't just go and put the new homepage with the developer that I had. I had to say, well, you know what? I need to redesign everything. I said, well, it's Claude. What can happen? It's just a weekend.
Right.
I think I started it on Thursday evening, like every stupid story starts. And on Sunday, I was full of frustration because it didn't do the work I did. I had a nice design for all the pages. I had the plan there. I had the skills for building websites. I did all the planning because I know WordPress well enough. I'm not an expert, but I know it well enough. I knew that the theme that I did wasn't going to work. I knew that there are going to be issues with it. I wanted to do it with Gutenberg blocks, so the API, like Claude, will be able to go and do the changes that I needed to do. But also, me as a human, I can go to the backend and do the changes manually. It never did work. So after that weekend, I understood that there is a problem. I stopped everything. We started from scratch all over again, added more skills around WordPress, tried to understand what's wrong. It just didn't work. So I said, enough. I'm going to do it with Claude, but I'm not going to care about the backend anymore. As long as it's working, I'm not going to, if I open the editor and it doesn't look nice, I'm just going to ignore that. Every time that I tried to make it work well and behave nicely with WordPress, I failed. And I'm a developer. I can read the code, understand. It just didn't work. Now, what went wrong there? I probably should have used a different theme. We used the theme, but then Claude decided not to use it without telling me. And he just went using Gutenberg directly and said, you know what, we're too far off. Let's just use it that way, which was fine.
Right.
All the WYSIWYG stuff that uses AI for WordPress weren't that good comparable anyway. And it was good enough for me. Because yes, that blog and site is how I see him outside, but it looks okay on the outside. It runs at the scale that it does just fine. It's probably even a bit faster now because it has less plugins and bloat. On the back end, I can't edit it manually, but hey, I have Claude to do the things for me today, which is fine. Like updating stuff, adding pages, removing pages. It doesn't need me much. So it's okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to the WebRTC part. Let's say that you're just like me, not an expert, but you're dangerous enough.
Right.
Is that enough to be able to build something with WebRTC that works at scale?
Right.
That actually has users on it? And, data is flowing? I don't know. It's like, it's not simple.
Yeah.
And it's not as if you can go off and say, well, here are a set of skills for WebRTC, or I can go and let it roam the internet and find something. I had one of the pieces that I had was I needed to build and just embed the kit form into the site. How again, what can go wrong? So you build that in Kit, you tell Claude, go put that inside, he puts it, it never looks well. Any change, like the CSS is not exactly right. So he plays and plays and plays and plays. And after half an hour, I said, no, let's stop it. Go research what you're doing wrong. There must be best practices for that. He goes, finds that out, rolls back everything, does something differently, and now it works. So we didn't search for that even. Although Kit is quite common, it's not an unknown. It's not as niche as WebRTC, I would say.
Right.
And that's where the problem starts, I think. If you're not using AI to build code for WebRTC, there is a problem, because you should use AI for everything today. Not meeting friends, but maybe also, again, we can discuss that. And if you are, you need to understand and know what it is that you're doing with it, and where it's the role of AI to do these things, and where it is your role to do these things.
Exactly.
And when you take it to someone like Philipp, that is like, there aren't many experts like him with WebRTC, then he became godlike he's superhuman with WebRTC now. He can do whatever he wants on whatever platform he wants at whatever rate that he needs, and he can get things done there. He can work around everything to get the things that he needs to do inside of WebRTC itself, which is not a simple code base, and he can get the exact results that he needs really, really quickly. Not many can do that, even if they want to, because they don't have his level of experience and judgment with WebRTC.
Exactly.
So, luckily for us, experience still matters, less so than it used to. But then the nice thing, I'm like blabbering all the time now. Something nice that I heard a week ago was that AI makes experienced developers be able to 10x or 100x whatever it is that they're doing, which is great. The only thing is it does the same for the worst developers as well.
For bad habits, right?
And now
for bad ideas.
10x the problems that they make in your company.
Yeah.
Now that's a good thing, because now we can actually notice that a lot faster.
Right.
So AI is for everyone, but you need to understand what you're doing with it. I think that's the moral of the whole story.
Well, and I think the moral of Fippo's blog post is that, you know, he's a C++ guy, and he talks about how AI now allows him to contribute in other applications of WebRTC too, about contributing to the Pion project, because he doesn't like the Go language, but he can do it now, and you know, with the help of AI tools. And so that's a perfect example of AI tooling augmenting expertise that you already have. It's certainly not replacing the expertise Fippo has, because, as you said, it's like godlike his knowledge of WebRTC, right? But even for mere mortals in WebRTC, there's still so much, as he described it in the blog post, oral lore, things that are institutional knowledge that those of us who've been working in WebRTC for so long know these best practices, know how to tune and scale things, and it's not common knowledge. Not all of it is published knowledge. A lot of it is just developed expertise over time. And so there's really not, you know, AI can help you build a great prototype. And that's one way it's changed the work that we do in our team, is that more often we'll be able to do a quick prototype as part of a project proposal, for example, to kind of help visualize how this is going to come together, how we might do it, that sort of thing, to experiment with an idea quickly. And those are fantastic ways to augment the talent of a team, right? But that doesn't become the same application that gets delivered to the client, right? Because that's where you get into all these other things where I think that AI tooling doesn't help as much around the scaling, the debugging, the tuning of the application. That's where I think those oral lore things come more into play.
Yes, it speeds up the work of an expert. I started working on the video API report that I have. I'm working on a new refresh for that, on an update. I used AI. I said, let's make a shortcut. So I sent Google Research. I used Google Research, Deep Research a lot for that. My friend doesn't know. It's like I got put on the sideline on that platform as well because of using it too much. And then I had to read the actual reports that he got me. So a lot of it was pure gold because I didn't need to go and search for these things. Some of it were stupid, like he takes tangents of things that he finds on the internet and veers off there, and like, no, it's not there. You need to pull him back in a lot of ways.
Right.
So you still need the brains. Like, you can do a lot of things with it, but you again need to understand what it is that you're doing. So it's a really powerful tool, really useful, but it's not a standalone thing. Not in many of the things that we're doing, especially not in these niches that nobody has optimized it for on the training side. And I don't think that it ever will be, because it's such a small niche.
Right, exactly. There's only so many, watch party applications or telehealth applications, and they are optimized in very different ways, for sure. And that's one of the things, like AI tooling, I think is great. Like sort of I think this fits with the story you were telling about kind of reworking a WordPress site into something and letting Claude essentially re-architect it as it went, and you might ask it in the future to make a small change, and it re-architects a large portion of it as part of it.
Yep.
And in a way, that's okay from your perspective, right? Because it can be a bit of a black box. It's going to manage all all aspects, the details of it for you going forward. But with WebRTC applications, we need to see those details. It can't be a black box to us if you're going to tune it and scale it. And so I think that's a key distinction.
I think there is another one. There is a lot more moving parts in WebRTC that would end up affecting users in edge cases that just don't exist on a WordPress site. That's
yeah. There's a lot more training data out there on WordPress than there is in WebRTC, to be sure. So, all right. Well, Tsahi, obviously we could talk about AI tooling for a long time, but we'll stop there for now. But as always, thank you for sharing your insights with us. To learn more about Tsahi's work, check him out at bloggeek.me. To learn more about future episodes of WebRTC Live, check us out at webrtc.ventures. Thanks, Tsahi.
Thank you, Arin.